Welcome back to their video, and in today's video we have Forbidden Door 2025 predictions. This year it is a Forbidden Door that doesn't have too much crossover this time around. We see a few people coming from New Japan, a few people from Stardom, and a few people from CMLL as well. But yeah, should be a pretty fun card, a lot of good matches. But yeah, how we feeling?
Yeah, Forbidden Door has been notoriously one of my least favorite AEW pay-per-views in the past. However, this one is looking majorly stacked with all the people that I want to see on it, including people from other companies that I also like and am at least somewhat familiar with. But yeah, I think this will be a great show. AEW's been doing a lot of good stuff recently, so yeah, I'll be excited to see this.
Yeah, let's kick things off with the return of the tag team that is wrestling across their fourth decade now, and that is Adam Copeland and Christian Cage teaming up once again, now in AEW, but going against Kip Sabian and the returning Killswitch. He has returned on Dynamite and has taken the place of Nick Wayne. So now we got Killswitch, Kip Sabian versus Adam Copeland, Christian Cage. Who do you got for this one?
Yeah, I think this would be a pretty cool one for Killswitch. However, I do believe Edge and Christian will pick up the win here. It's a little bit unfortunate that Nick Wayne got pulled out because he was somebody who I was looking forward to seeing. I kind of wish it was Killswitch and Nick Wayne maybe, or some sort of other combination. But yeah, I think this would be a pretty fun match though.
No. But then next up we are actually I didn't get my pick either. But for me, I'm also gonna go with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. Yeah, it just feels like they're gonna win. We have the Toronto All Out show coming up in a few weeks as well, which has implications of the next match we'll get to. But yeah, I think this should be a pretty solid match, and should be cool seeing what ENC bring to AEW.
No.
But the match I mentioned was the AEW World Tag Team match where the Hurt Syndicate are taking on Brodito, which is the team of Brody King and Bandito, and FTR after they went into a 30-minute time limit draw on Dynamite. So now there's a triple threat, so Hurt Syndicate has some pretty bad odds.
Yeah, I think for this one, I do kind of think the Hurt Syndicate will take the L here. I don't think they'll get pinned necessarily. But yeah, I think surprisingly, I will probably go Brodito. I'm not a huge fan of the tag team. I love Brody King. Don't as much love Bandito. But yeah, I think it'll be a good match for sure. And yeah, I think Brodito is probably the right choice at this moment.
Yeah, for me, I do agree that I don't think we'll see Hurt Syndicate walk out with the tag team champions. So it's kind of between Brodito and FTR. I think, obviously, we've seen FTR go after Adam Copeland in the past, and that's kind of what made him return. They had the stuff, Adam Copeland had the stuff with Stokely, so it kind of feels like that is the team to win it, just so they can end up dropping it to a potential ENC at the All Out show. But I think I also wouldn't mind what you said, Brodito winning, a team that is a makeup tag team, so it makes sense why they would lose the belt so quick, especially to a team like a team who's been around for 4 decades now. So I will go with FTR because I do feel like that is the direction they will go down.
Yeah, I just think Brody King getting that win over Bobby Lashley would be pretty cool, and that's obviously the kind of matchup you want to see during this match is what is Bobby and Shelton going to do with all these new people they haven't wrestled yet.
No. And then next up we have our IWGP World Champion Zack Sabre Jr. coming up against Nigel McGinness after he won a Fatal 4 a few weeks ago on Collision. But yeah, a dream match for Nigel, and I guess for a lot of people as well, seeing these two great technicians kind of finally clash, two different type of generations of professional wrestling going after each other. So yeah, should be a pretty fun match, but who do you got walking out as a champion?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Zack Sabre Jr. to pick up the win here. Nigel McGinness is coming out with Daniel Garcia, so I'm kind of expecting something with him. There's some sort of reason to be there. I'm not sure what that is, whether he'll maybe attack Zack after the match, or maybe he attacks Nigel to kind of keep it within AEW. But yeah, I'm excited to see kind of what'll come from this match, because Daniel Garcia being kind of involved in the match is making it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, this was a pretty easy one. I'm going to go with Zack Sabre Jr. as well. I do not see Nigel McGinness going to Japan and defending the belt over there for a few matches and then coming back. I think he's perfectly fine with being at commentary for a lot of the shows. And yeah, I think this should be a pretty fun match. I think they got a lot of cool stuff planned for this match. So yeah, should be pretty fun. But yeah, I am going with Zack Sabre Jr. But next up, though, we have the AEW TNT Championship on the line. We have Kyle Fletcher going up against Hiromu Takahashi.
Yeah, I think this will be another fun one. I'm not super familiar with Takahashi's work, but I have watched a few matches of his in the past, and obviously Kyle Fletcher could put on a banger, so I am expecting something big from this match, but I do expect Kyle Fletcher to come out on top for this one.
Yeah, I'm going Kyle Fletcher as well. This match should be pretty fun. I think this can be a real like dark horse match for match of the night potentially. But yeah, this I think is a great way to kick off Kyle Fletcher's run. The TNT Championship has kind of lost a lot of meaning over the past few years. So Kyle Fletcher I think is a guy who has a lot of stock from the AEW fans and online. So I think this match could be a real step in the right direction for not only Kyle Fletcher but that TNT Championship moving forward. So yeah, really fun stuff from that match. But let's go over to our women's match where we have the World Championship on the line, where Athena is using her Casino Gauntlet match win to go up against Toni Storm. Who do you got for this one?
Yeah, kind of feels like it's been time for Toni to lose. I kind of thought she would lose to Mercedes at All In as well. And yeah, I think it's the same here. I'm going to go with Athena to pick up the big surprising win here. And that'll hopefully lead to another version of Athena versus Mercedes in the future when Mercedes goes after her title, of course. But yeah, I think for now, I would just put it on Athena, let her kind of run through the AEW roster for a little bit and put on some banger matches. Drop it to whoever that might be after this.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Athena to pick up the win here. So much what you said, I think it is kind of time for Toni Storm to lose the belt and maybe not move on from the character, but just move in a different direction. Maybe go after the TBS champion, or maybe just have a little bit of a time period where you're not going after any belts. You're just doing some cool feud stuff that's not for the title. But yeah, I think Athena should get the win here. It's about time that we've seen her more frequently in this build up to Forbidden Door here. So I'm glad that we are getting that, but I think it's time to finally submit her as an AEW girl, and she's going to be there for quite a while. So yeah, I'm going to go with Athena, and should be a really fun match.
Yeah, maybe we see the minions get involved. Billy Starks, maybe she gets involved. But yeah, a lot of high hopes for this match for sure. I'm expecting a lot out of Athena and Toni Storm to put on a great women's match, because the WWE side of thing has really been questioning with the women's matches this year, as well as the AEW side. But I feel like, this would be a good opportunity to have a really good women's match on this card here.
Yeah. But then next up, we have the AEW Unified Championship on the line, where Kazuchika Okada takes on Swerve Strickland in a big fight feel type of match. But who do you got winning?
Yeah, I mean, besides one other match, this is probably the match I'm most excited for. I really love Okada, really love Swerve Strickland. Okada has been doing a lot of really good stuff since All In. A lot of his stuff, previous to All In, it felt like, maybe he wasn't fully motivated to want to do what he wanted to do or whatever. He just wasn't putting his best effort in, maybe. But I think since then, he's been putting on a lot of great matches. His promos have been better. The video packages have been better. Everything about him has been great, and Swerve has always been great. So I expect these two to match up very well. But I do have Okada retaining here.
Yeah, this one is a very tough one for me to pick, because I could see Okada keeping up this Unified Championship run. He has the Continental Championship and now the International Championship, so I wouldn't mind him kind of continuing and kind of building more like a reputation for this Unified Championship, but also wouldn't mind seeing Swerve with some type of gold until he does win some type of big championship like the World Championship. So yeah, I don't mind whoever wins this match. I think it should be really fun, but I will go with I'm going to go with Swerve. I'm going to go with Swerve to get the win here. I have no real reasoning for it, but I just think whoever wins this match should be a really good match at the end of the night.
Yeah, for sure.
And then next up, we have another big one. We have a lights-out steel cage match in a 10-man tag. So on the babyface side, we got the Golden Lovers coming back, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi teaming up with Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay to take on the Death Riders and the Young Bucks, plus Gabe Kidd as well. So a lot of huge names in a steel cage. What do you think is going to happen, and who do you think is going to get off the win?
Yeah, this is just a big mashup match here. A lot of my favorites are all involved into this one. Kota Ibushi is another one of those people who came back recently, has been put on a lot of banger matches, so he's someone I'm very excited to see him moving forward, especially if they're going to continue this Golden Lovers arc with Kenny Omega. I feel like they could be a real threat in this tag team division. This could be a good start to that. But yeah, a lot of great people. Hiroshi Tanahashi, probably my favorite New Japan person currently, and it's sad that this is his final American match here, but I think he's had a lot of great matches in the past, and I do believe that this will be a crazy match for him to kind of go out on in America, especially with a Darby Allin and Will Ospreay on the team. Could imagine, we've seen Will Ospreay do the Spanish flies off the cages with Kyle Fletcher, and we've seen Darby do everything that Darby does. So I'm expecting a whole lot from this match, and yeah, I think this will be definitely the funnest match of the night.
Yeah, it's weird that they were in the time period where it feels like blood and guts should be kind of happening right now. But they announced this match, what feels like should have been the blood and guts match, but it's just a lights out steel cage. So who knows what is going to happen on the night? Obviously, they can't just kind of plop out a new ring or another ring on the middle of the night. So yeah, I guess this is just a regular lights out steel cage match. So yeah, this one's gonna be crazy. The babyface side is basically just held up by hopes and dreams. So hopefully this match it goes completely fine. But yeah, I will go to the babyface side. I think this is marking the end of the Death Riders, and the Young Bucks probably go away after this match. I can imagine so much crazy stuff happening that a lot of people might get written off after this match. Maybe everybody gets written off for all we know. But should be a crazy one. But yeah. Now, for the next match, we have the TBS Championship on the line where Mercedes Moné puts her belt up against Alex Windsor, Persephone, and Bozilla. Who do you got for this one?
Yeah, I am going to go with Mercedes to retain this one. I just don't necessarily see any of the other people winning here. Maybe Alex Windsor could pick up a win, but I don't necessarily see it. It's still very early in their AEW career to throw away the title over Mercedes at this moment would be maybe a little bit crazy if you're not very familiar with their outside work, of course. But yeah, I'm probably just going to go with Mercedes to retain. I'm not super familiar with Persephone or Bozilla, but yeah.
Yeah, for this one, I see what you mean by it does feel a little crazy for Alex Windsor. But at the same time, the way they've treated her since debuting, she's been hanging around the likes of Toni Storm, being best friends with her. They tag team on this Dynamite going into Forbidden Door against Athena and Mercedes. So they definitely have high hopes for her. So part of me feels like this can be the place where Mercedes drops the belt. Obviously, this is a fatal four-way, so Mercedes doesn't have to get pinned. So this may lead to another match at All Out, probably, between Alex Windsor and Mercedes. So, yeah, I think that's the route I am going to go with, so I guess Alex Windsor is my prediction for this match. But yeah, should be a fun match. I don't know, like I said, don't know too much about Persephone and Bozilla, but should be pretty fun. And then now for what we will presume is the main event, it is Hangman Adam Page versus MJF. Now, the rules for this match got announced on Dynamite. It's a little bit weird. So, the title can change via disqualification and countout, which is obviously not normal. But also, this is not MJF's contract title shot. So, he doesn't get the title shot, even though that's what Hangman told him to do and kind of persuaded him to do. So, who knows what's going to happen now. The belt can change very easily, and the numbers are definitely in MJF's favor. So, who do you think walks out with the World Championship at the end of the night?
Yeah, I think everyone that sort of helped Hangman previously are sort of wrapped up in big matches on this night, so I don't think he'll get too much help. However, MJF kind of has a lot of people he could call on to give him some help, and new people to call on potentially as well. So I am surprisingly going to go with MJF. I don't think this will be our last time we will see Hangman with the title. I think he will win it back from MJF, and then maybe even MJF does the cash in and loses again, or some sort of thing will happen. But I am kind of feeling like MJF will get the win here.
Yeah, the odds just do feel in MJF's favor. He obviously has the relationship with the Hurt Syndicate. Obviously, things have been very rocky between both sides, so who knows what's happening there. But he's also been getting help from the Gates of Agony and Ricochet, so yeah, Hangman Adam Page is definitely going to have to pull off some type of miracle to get the win here. I'm expecting a lot of ref bumps probably in this match with some interference after to kind of not get that like DQ. But I will go with Hangman Adam Page because he is the hero here, and I think he does pull off the win. But yeah, should be a really fun match. The match they had not too long ago, I forget which, that may have been Revolution, I want to say they had their first match. That was a really good one, so I think this one could be just as good, if not better.
Yeah, for sure.
But that is all the matches. What match are you looking most forward to?
Definitely going to be that steel cage match, Hiroshi Tanahashi's final American match, as well as the Golden Lovers returning, as well as the Darby Allin returning, and obviously the end of the Death Riders potentially happening during this match.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you right there. But yeah, that is our predictions for Forbidden Door. Let us know your predictions down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe on the channel. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.